Hey guys, JB here. Another Monday here on the show. Super pumped to be starting a new month in November, and been using some new tools. Been working with this iPad mini for the last couple weeks. I want to tell you some of the good things and some of the bad things about it, and maybe if you're thinking about grabbing it, that will help you out. So first of all, let me tell you one of the bad things that I really don't like and using for a couple weeks. The buttons, the sound buttons, I can never find them. You would think with muscle memory that you'd eventually figure out where they're at, and they're down here on the corner, and they're kind of hard to find, and it's just a challenging thing for me. The other thing and a negative that I would say is it is a little small. It's one of the benefits, but also the curses of it is if you've got eye issues, it is a little bit tiny. It's bigger than a big iPhone, but it's pretty small for day-to-day use. And those would be the two most negative things that I'd have. Well, let me give you one third negative, even though this channel's not really negative. Typing on it. I literally don't type on it. I never type on it. I actually use the Apple Pencil for everything. And the reason is because I can just write on it, and that's what I use it for. I am using a Doo-Doo screen protector on it. They sent me over these. I've not been paid by them, but they did send me some, and I have been very happy with it. In using it with the pencil. The apps that I primarily use on this device, number one is Notability. I have my planner in there, as you can see here. Basically what I do is I write down the things that I need to do today, and then there's some structural things that I do with the planner. You can actually get that for free over at my website, MorningCoach.com, and I'm doing a webinar once you download it to explain how I use that, and also about the more the programs that I do. But you can see that the planner does work with Notability. I use Notability a lot for writing and handwriting. It does, with the Doo-Doo screen protector, feel a little bit more like writing on paper, but it's not close to like e-ink devices like the Remarkable and those, but it does get the job done for what I'm trying to do. The other thing that I use it with is my reminders. My reminders are, just basically things that I've done within the Apple ecosystem, and it just works. So I do have an Apple iPad Pro, which I use for a lot of things, and I also have a MacBook Pro that I use, and I've ordered the new one. So I am in their world, but I use Final Cut and I use GarageBand for my 4,500 podcasts I've done and 1,000 videos. So I am in their world. If you're not in their world and you're just using this device, it would probably be a challenge. But if you're in their world, then everything kind of works together. I can type my reminders up on my iPad, the big iPad, or on my computer, and then go to this, and this really becomes my travel machine. Where it really shined was this week I did an event, or last week I should say, and at my event I used it in the front of the room to just keep track of my notes and know where I was with the 2-day event that I was doing, and using Notability to keep notes. If somebody said something, I would grab it and write a note. That's where this device really comes in handy. Again, you could use the Remarkable 2 there, but then I don't have my reminders and my Apple Notes and mail and everything else. Even though I don't primarily use that for that, it is good having it with you for just quick updates and stuff. You can get by, typing on it if you have to, but again, it's not pleasurable. It's not something that I want to do. As far as other positives about it, like I said, it is small, which is a positive. You can take it anywhere. The form factor is really great, and you can do things on it that you wouldn't do with your phone. That's pretty much it. And it is big enough to maybe watch a YouTube video or to check out some things once in a while. I typically am using the Apple case, which I will talk about here in a minute, where I just set it up on my desk and it's sitting there all day. And I do use it in landscape mode primarily over portrait mode. I don't use portrait mode hardly at all. I can't even tell you when I've used portrait mode. So the rolling shutter thing, where I don't know what it's called, the jelly roll, I guess, rolling shutter, jelly roll, has not affected me at all. I don't even ever see it. As far as cases go, I am using the Apple case. Again, the negative is it does pick up dirt pretty easily, but it is comfortable and smooth, expensive for what you're getting. Doesn't really protect the pencil. I do have the silicone protector on it from Doo-Doo that they sent me, which I do really like, and it does charge with it on, and it gives it a little softer feel. The magnet holds it pretty good, but there is a good chance you would lose it. So down below, I linked a couple cases. This is a case that's got a little flap on it. that you can put the pencil in and it'll hold it, which I like because it charges with the silicone. The only thing that I don't like about this case is that you got to snap it in, and getting it in and out is a little bit challenging, where with the Apple case, it literally just falls right out, as you can see that. So if I'm traveling and I'm worried about losing the pencil, I do like this case because it flips over and can charge. This case is also really cool, where you click it in, a little more rubbery, a little more shock protectant. Again, this you just stick it in here. And the good thing about this case, I see a lot of people using these, is that you can stick the Apple Pencil right next to it in the case for $10. And you've got a real nice travel carry where you're not gonna lose the Apple Pencil. Why am I not using this case is because of the silicone that I have on it to protect the pencil will not allow it to charge in that case. But if I had to tell you, I mean, this case, I think it adds a little bulk and a little protection to it for $10. So you can't beat it. And you got, if you're traveling a lot and moving a lot around, then it's going to keep the pencil secure. Same thing with this case. As long as you travel, you got to click it in here. I think this case with the pencil holder up top, which is how I will mark it down below, is a little bit more protection than this one. For day-to-day usage, Apple case is okay. A little bit more better feel to it. And again, the only concern is that the pencil, you lose the pencil, but the magnet does work really well. Have not used the camera at all on it. In full disclosure, primarily using it for a planning device and a note-taking, handwritten noting device that I'm keeping on my desk, something that I can grab fast, take with me, keep notes on it when I'm traveling or going to my events, can get some good notes and really take those notes on it. Am I going to keep it? Yes. I didn't know if I would keep it. I bought it for the channel to use for demos, and when it came out, just as I buy a lot of equipment and technology to see, but it does fit within my workflow in that area of really the bigger kind of iPhone kind of type of situation. It's just more, you can do more with it. In fact, one of the things that I'm going to be looking at is trading in maybe my iPhone Max, which I have the 12 for the mini, because I really don't need a big phone anymore when I have this with me. Though on the golf course and when I'm out, I do like to have that bigger phone. But it does fit in a really nice area of in between a bigger tablet and having enough firepower in this thing to do what you need to do. One quick note, a lot of people complained about the Jelly Roll was one, which I never use it in this format. So, rarely use it in that format. I'm always using it like this to watch videos and stuff. And the other complaint was the way the icons look and that they're kind of scrunched together. I have not even noticed that. I've gotten used to it, and it's not something that bothers me. There is a lot of room on the sides of it, which if that's something that bothers you, it could be a problem. But overall, great device. It doesn't write like the Remarkable, doesn't write with e-ink. The Doo-Doo screen protector helps. But the pencil does work fine with Scribble when I'm doing my reminders and stuff. It works great for just staying organized and staying on top of things. And that's really what I'm using it for, is a productivity device. Not reading on it, though you could read on it. Not really watching YouTube on it, though when it's laying, I have it next to me on the sofa, I'll grab it and, watch a YouTube video or look up, what time did that actor pass away or when was that movie done, right? We've all done that. That's where this fits in. Bigger than a phone, smaller than a typical iPad, and very portable. And I think for the right person that wants that productivity and that portability, use a calculator and stuff like that, it can fit in there. It's expensive for that, but definitely could be a device that you could use day in and day out to stay organized and stay on top of things. It's definitely the one that I grab when I'm getting ready to run out of the house, and I think that's the indicator, right? What are you going to use when you're going to a meeting or you're grabbing? What is the thing you're going to take? This is the device right now that I take with me, and I'm using Notability and the Notes apps on it. Okay, so as always, this is a community more than a channel. I love that. So if you don't mind hitting the like button, it helps me with the algorithm. The other thing is, if you've got any comments, please leave them below. Any questions? We're going to be adding to this channel. We're doing create, invest, and technology. So there's a lot going on. In fact, some of you, I'm not a financial planner. I tell you what I do. But if you'd have watched a couple weeks ago, I talked about Shiba Inu, you would have generated enough to get this because it's doing really well. Not sure how well it's going to do in the future. Make sure you subscribe to find out more. But I got more videos coming here on the community, and I really hope you're having a great day. So I love you. Go have a fantastic one, and we'll be back with more videos right here on the Morning Coach channel. So go do it to it. We'll see you in the next video.